Hello students. Uh, I have realized that so many of you have missed my online class during the online session of class 10 today. So to compensate that, I am just making this video of AP, especially the theory of AP, so that you can understand the theory of AP nicely. And those who have missed, don't worry, this is my trial. So if I am mistaken, no problem, I'll rectify. But I think it might help you. So let's see one by one the point that what you have missed, you can cover up. Okay. So let's see. Okay, fine. AP, the full form is arithmetic progression. Point number 1, three numbers A, B and C, three numbers will be in AP if the difference of two consecutive terms is constant. So if B minus A, that means if A comma B comma C are in AP, then B minus A should be is equal to C minus B. That means second term minus first term should be equal to third term minus second term. So, and this difference same, and this same difference is called common difference. Okay. So this common difference, I am writing it, common difference. This common difference is denoted by D, small letter D. Okay. Now from here, let's see what can I get. So from here I can get 2B is equal to A plus C. So that means I can say two ways. First, ABC will be in AP if difference of these two terms, that means second and first, is equal to difference of second and third. So that means everywhere the difference is same. Okay, let us understand by example. Otherwise you might get confused. So the example is like this. Suppose 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. I have written so many numbers, and you just see in these so many numbers, I have written how many? 6 numbers I have written. So here everywhere the difference is what? The difference is 2. Everywhere the difference is 2. So I can say that these numbers are following a particular pattern. What is that pattern? The pattern is difference between these two numbers is 2. Difference between these two numbers is 2. See, difference between any two consecutive number. Remember the word consecutive. So difference between any two consecutive numbers will be fixed, constant. So whenever a few numbers will follow a particular pattern, what is that pattern? The pattern is difference of two consecutive number should be constant. In that case, we will say that these numbers are in AP. So here in three numbers ABC, I have said that if three numbers ABC are in AP, then B minus A is equal to C minus B. Difference of second and first is equal to difference of third and second. So this is, I think, nicely understood. From this result, I can write 2B is equal to A plus C. So this is another way. This is another way by which I can check whether three numbers are in AP or not. For example, let's see, I am writing suppose 2, 4, 6. I have to check whether these three numbers are in AP or not. See, very easy. How will I check? Twice the middle. See, what is this? This is twice the middle number. Twice the middle number. It should be equal to what? First number plus third number. So let's see. Twice the middle number is equal to first number plus third number. If this answer is true, then I will say that these three numbers are in AP. And this is true because 2 4s are 8 and 2 plus 6 is 8. Okay. So this is the another way. That means I can say either I will check the difference or I will check twice the middle number is equal to first plus third. This is happening or not. If this is happening, then or if this is satisfied or if that is satisfied, then my conclusion is what? Then my conclusion will be that these three numbers ABC are in AP. Okay, so this is my first point. What is AP? How will I check AP? If these three numbers are in AP, then what will happen? With example. Everything I have explained here. Now my point number 2 will be some formulae by which we can solve few sums. Okay, so these formulae are very simple. Suppose out here I am writing first term denoted by T1, second term denoted by T2, third term T3, fourth term T4. In this way I have last term, that what I am denoting by Tn. So remember, T1 stands for first term, T2 means second term, third term, fourth term and nth term. Now suppose the first term is 1, second term is 3, third term is 5, fourth term is 7, nth term I am not writing right now. Now let's see. With 1, what should be added to this? What should be added to 1 to get 3? That is 2. With 3, what should be added so that the answer will be 5? That is again 2. With 5, what should be added to get this number 7? That is also 2. So this 2 is what? This 2 is the common difference. Now let's see. So this first term is I am denoting by A. So if the first term is denoted by A, remember this is the standard notation. Means in AP or GP, I am not discussing GP right now. Later on I will discuss. In AP, the first term is always denoted by A. Now with A, whatever I am adding, this constant is nothing but the same difference or the common difference. So if I add the common difference, suppose I am denoting the common difference by D. Instead of writing 2, I am writing D. Instead of writing 1, I am writing A. Means first term is A and common difference is D. Then what will be my second term? That means this will be what? This will be A. With 1, I have added 2. That's why I got 3. So with A, I am adding D. I will get A plus D. So this is my what? Second term. Now with this, again I will add what? Again I will add the common difference, that is D. Then I will get what? A with A plus D. If I add again D, then I will get A plus 2D. Again with this A plus 2D, suppose if I add again D, then I will get what? I will get A plus 3D. And in this way the process will proceed. Now here you have to come to one generalization technique. Okay, let's see. When this is 4, look at the linking. When this is 4, then this number is what? 4 minus 1. When this is 3, then this number is what? 3 minus 1. When this is 2, then before D what do you have? 2 minus 1. And when this is 1, then we have 1 minus 1D, that means 0D. Nothing is there means 0D. So from here I can say, if this is 4, this is 4 minus 1. If this is 3, that means this is 3 minus 1. So I can write this is C, this is A plus 1 minus 1 into D. This is A plus 2 minus 1 into D. This is A plus 3 minus 1 into D. This is A plus 4 minus 1 into D. So I think you can get the pattern that how it is approaching. In first term, what I am getting? A plus 1 minus 1 into D. In the second term, what I am getting? A plus 2 minus 1 into D. In the third term, A plus 3 minus 1 into D. Fourth term, A plus 4 minus 1 into D. So very, very obvious, nth term will be what? Nth term will be A plus, I think you can guess, but still I am saying A plus n minus 1 into D. So this is my first formula. So now this is my total discussion. Based on this discussion, I will come to my first formula. So this is my point number 2. Point number 2 is formula. Formulae, plural of formula is formulae. So my first formula is what? Nth term. Nth term denoted by Tn. Tn is equal to what? A plus n minus 1 into d. So this is my first important formula. How to find nth term. Okay. Next I will tell you another formula of nth term. How to find another formula of nth term. And remember, this is very, very important. Okay. So how to find the second formula of nth term. So my formula number 2. Formula number 2 will be Tn. Same, nth term is equal to Sn minus S n minus 1. Now I will tell you what is the meaning of Sn, what is the meaning of S n minus 1. Okay, so in AP so far whatever I have used, this letter A stands for always first term. This letter A stands for always first term in this chapter. Then D stands for common difference. Common difference. Then Tn stands for nth term. This is called terminologies. You have to know all the terminologies of this chapter. Then only you can understand the chapter nicely. Henceforth, I will not tell you the details. I will just say what is A, what is D. You have to understand. Okay. So, and Sn means sum of first n terms. So Sn means sum of first n terms. So these are standard notations of this chapter. Now here whatever I have written, that Tn is equal to Sn minus 1. So how this is coming? So I'll just tell you one example, you will understand better. Suppose I have S5 means suppose 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. I'm just giving one example so that you can understand better. S5 means sum of first 5 natural numbers. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. And S4 means sum of first 4 natural numbers. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Now if I say, okay students, subtract it. So I am subtracting. Everywhere subtraction. Then what will happen? S5 minus S4 is equal to, remember, this is T1, this is T2, this is T3, this is T4, and this is T5. See, if I subtract it, then 1 cancel, 2 cancel, 3 cancel, 4 cancel. So what is left? Only 5. Only 5. Now I can say this 5 is actually what? This 5 is actually nothing but T5. So I got S5 minus S. See, what was it? What was it? It was 4. Can I write this 4 means 5 minus 1? 4 means what? 5 minus 1. So S5 minus S, instead of 4 I am writing 5 minus 1 is equal to, this 5 is coming from where? This 5 is coming from this one. That means T5. So this is T5. So if this is true, see everywhere 5, 5, 5. So if it is 3, 3, 3, 3. If it is 7, 7, 7, 7. So if it is n, instead of 5, if I write n, then it will be Sn minus 1 is equal to Tn. That's what I have written here. So this is another very important formula. So now there is another problem. Which formula to use? This is Tn, that is also Tn. Now the confusion will arise that, sir, which formula to use? One particular sum is there, this one or that one. Remember, whenever Sn is mentioned, means given in the question, then only you will use this particular formula. And when Sn is not given, then you will use or you will apply this particular formula. So application of formula is very, very important. Okay, so this is my second formula. Now my third formula, that is sum of n terms. So my formula number 3, that is Sn. Sn is equal to n by 2 2a plus n minus 1 into d. And another formula Sn n by 2, actually coming from here only, n by 2 into a plus l. So what is everything I have said? Terminologies, I have defined everything. Now the new terminologies has come, L. So remember, L means last term. L means last term. Sometimes we say L means last term, means nth term also. Okay. Okay. So now whenever you know the last term, then you can use this formula. And whenever you don't know the last term, if you don't know the last term, then use that formula. So application is in your hand. Okay, so this is the formula by which you can find sum of, remember, very important, sum of first n terms, not any n terms, only first n terms, not any n terms. Okay, fine. So this is what I have given. So addition formula means sum of n terms formula. After this, now I will go to my some important points. That is formula. Point number 2 is done. Now point number 3 will be something like this. Suppose if 3 consecutive terms, whether consecutive given or not, if nothing is given, you have to understand consecutive. If 3 consecutive terms are given, terms of an AP are given, then they are taken as, now see, actually I am giving you the rule for 3, but it is applicable for 3 consecutive or 5 consecutive or 7 consecutive. That means any odd, so in bracket I am writing any odd. So for any odd number of terms, how will I proceed? So remember that if 3 or 5 or 7, whatever it is, so you will find in this way. The middle one is A. Rule is this. Middle one is A. If you move towards your right, you will write plus D. If you move towards your left, then you will write minus D. That means if I have to write 3 terms, then I will write A. Here it will be what? A minus D. And here it will be what? A plus D. That means if 3 consecutive terms are given, then I will write those terms in this way. So this is for 3 terms. But if they say no, 5 terms are given, fine. A. Now remember, middle term means what? Middle term means left may be 1 term, right may be 1 term. That means it should have equal number of terms in its left as well as in its right. So now 5 terms. 5 terms are in AP. Then what will I write? In left 2 terms, in right 2 terms. So 2 plus 2, 4, and this is 5. So left 2 terms. First I will write this is A minus D, because I know that if I move in this direction, I have to subtract D. If I move again in that direction, it will be what? A minus 2D. Because if you subtract D from A minus D, you will get A minus 2D. Okay, now if I move, so this is my middle point. If I move in this direction, then what will I get? I have to add. The rule says I have to add. So first I will add D. So I will get A plus D. And then again I will go to the next term. That means again I will add D with this. I will get what? A plus 2D. So what is the beauty here? The beauty is this. If I add all these 3 numbers, you will see D gets cancelled. So the answer is what out here? 3A. Very simplified form. If I add all these numbers, then again d gets cancelled. Minus d, minus 2d, plus 2d cancelled. Minus d, plus d cancelled. So what is left out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5a. So 5a is left out. So now my question is this. If 3 consecutive terms of an AP, this is given in the question, then you have to take those 3 terms in this way. Provided. That means this is the main condition. When will you take 3 terms like this? If the sum is given. That means this you will take if their sum is given. If the sum is given, then only the number should be taken in this way, otherwise not. Okay. Now this is for even, odd. Now I will go for even. So that is my point number 4. So for even, what will I do? See. Now even, that means if 4 within bracket I am writing even. Consecutive terms are terms of an AP are given, then they are taken as see, what is the rule? Just remember the rule. In between, here the middle term was what? Only one, A. But out here the middle term will be 2 terms, A minus D and A plus D. A minus D and A plus D. If you go in this direction, plus 2D. If you go in that direction, minus 2D. Now, this is the rule. This will generate any number of even terms. I am writing only for 4. So, if I go in that direction, I have to write 2D with this. So, I will get what? A plus D plus 2D. That means A plus 3D. If I move here, A minus D, I have to subtract again 2D. I will get what? A minus 3D. Again you see the beauty. What is the important thing? If I add all these terms, all D's will get cancelled. Plus 3D minus 3D cancelled. Plus D minus D cancelled. So the result will be what? If I add, I will get 4A. So again I will say all these will be applied. That means this formula or that technique or this technique, whatever the technique I am discussing, this technique, this is not a formula actually, technique. So all this technique will be applied only when sum of the terms is given. Otherwise, no. We will not take these numbers in this way. Okay, so this is my generation of thing. Now another point number 5, I will discuss here. So today I have discussed only in my online class, I have discussed only this theory portion, and my last portion, that what I will discuss, that is point number 5. And the point number 5 is this. Suppose I am just giving you example. 1, 3, 5. These 3 numbers are in AP. You add same number, okay? You add a particular number, suppose 7. With all these 3, these are in AP. Now if I add any number, it is up to you. Suppose I will add 7. So if I add 7 with all these 3, then I will get what? 7 plus 1, 8. 3 plus 7, 10. 5 plus 7, 12. Check. These 3 numbers are also in AP. Why? Because the difference is what? 2. Difference is what? Again 2. Now, so this is for addition. That means out here, if I add 7, then I will get the result will also be in AP. I will multiply now. So multiply by suppose 2. 1 2s are 2. 2 3s are 6. 2 5s are 10. Check. These 3 numbers, they are also in AP. Why? Difference of these 2 numbers is what? 4. Difference of these 2 numbers is what? Again 4. So what is my conclusion? Now I'll not means give example one by one like this. So my conclusion is this. This is the gist. The conclusion or the gist of the discussion is this. If A, B, C are in AP, then add X means any number with all these things. That means A plus X, B plus X, C plus X will also be in AP. If you subtract X, that will also be in AP. If you multiply all by X, that will also be in AP. If you divide by X, that will also be in AP. But whenever you will divide, you have to be very, very particular that in this case X should not be equal to 0, because we cannot divide anything by 0. So if ABC are in AP, then if I add all ABCs by a same number X, then the resulting numbers are also in AP. If I subtract, the resulting numbers will be in AP. If I multiply or divide, then the resulting number will also be in AP. So though I did not discuss this topic today's online class. So based on this, I think what you should do, you should try, means those who have missed the last portion of my online class today, you should try to go through the examples based on this theory, and you will go through, means after each and every example you try to, but there are so many examples which are very difficult type which never comes in ICC. So don't get nervous. I will tell you that what should be done in ICC. So try to solve the sums which you can, means from examples only. I will solve your doubts, and again I will explain how to solve the sums in my next class. Next class means Tuesday. Okay. So hope this video will help you a lot. Okay. Thank you very much.